My story is about Citibank, I think, looking at the metaverse and saying, holy smokes, this is a big economic opportunity. That's what Citibank said. It's not a direct quote, but it is a characterization of this report in which Citi said the metaverse economy could be a $13 trillion sector by 2030. Now, this is pretty wild. We've seen some previous attempts to quantify the size of the metaverse opportunity from big banks in the past. I forget the names of them exactly, but this is something that analysts on Wall Street firms are trying to calculate. They're saying, okay, cool. Is this the next generation of the internet? Is this how we're going to interact with commerce online and all sorts of online experiences? And 13 trillion seems to be like pretty big. So I don't know. I don't know what analysis this is grounded in, or if this is a bull case or a bear case. That's a large number, though, and we're talking about 8 years down the road. I'm going to throw this straight to George for his initial thoughts. When you see this number, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Can we do a quick shout out for Will, who would totally be like, give me the confidence of a banking analyst who just says whatever they feel like saying.
Such a good Will bit. I love when he does that.
Yeah, shout out. But in that spirit, I'm just imagining the people sitting in a boardroom or on a Zoom call saying, okay, how are we going to value this? How much is the metaverse going to be worth? I don't know, all of it, whatever. Let's just throw a huge number out there. Guys, $13 trillion is a lot of money. There are super important industries that don't even touch over 200 billion. This is a $13 trillion opportunity. Like, what does Citi think is going to happen? We're just going to open a bunch of branches in Decentraland, just like JPM did? Or we're going to have to plug into the matrix every time we need to, take money out of our accounts? Maybe the earth will run out of food and the only place we can get nourishment is on the blockchain in the metaverse. I don't know. $13 trillion in 8 years is obscene. That is crazy, right? I mean, all of crypto itself right now, I think we're over 2.5 trillion now, whatever it is. That's years and years of like actual good products getting built. And inside of that, there's a bunch of crap that's all the way at the bottom and coin market cap that you don't see. I just don't know how you can say 13 trillion, 2 trillion, 5 trillion. Those are all just obscenely large numbers that lose meaning. David, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that, like, who knows what credit to give this kind of forecast. But one important thing to clarify about the way that they went about the analysis, and this is a hobby horse of mine, is that when they say metaverse, they are not talking about like Facebook style virtual worlds. They are talking about the somewhat broader, but basically much more rigorous definition that aligns the metaverse with NFTs, digital property, and Web3. There's even a reference to DeFi, I think. So when they talk about that 13 trillion, they're not talking about virtual reality goggles and going into like a world and playing games. They're talking about digital property secured by blockchains, used and deployed in interactive ways through kind of any kind of interface. Really, it can be a web interface, it can be whatever. So that does place that 13 trillion in a little bit more context. But I think in the race there, I saw, gosh, I don't know whose hand. Go first. Whoever went first.
It was a photo finish. It was a photo finish. I'll just say I can see why like these reports are contributing to sort of like that gold rush mentality, sort of like the land grab mentality of big brands starting to experiment with the metaverse. And yeah, this is fuel to that fire. It's going to be interesting to see again who the next big metaverse activation is from. But we've seen it from JPM, we've seen it from the the Australian Open. We'll see it, I'm sure, from countless others, and some. In whatever metaverse pick is theirs, we're seeing more and more big brands do this, and I think this is again, fuel to their drive to stake a claim. But Jen, I'm tossing it to you.
Yeah, to George's point, I also imagined, I wish I was on that Zoom call or in the boardroom when they were like, 13 trillion. Yeah, this seems normal. And everyone was like, yeah. I mean, if you take everything into consideration, 13 trillion just makes a lot of sense. And we talk about bank reports a lot on the show, and I think we always give them a lot of flack. But I think if you think about the people who are actually reading this report and taking it seriously, there are a few tidbits in there that might help big brands think about the metaverse and their future activations. They talk about building the metaverse and the investment that it's going to take to actually make the reality of the metaverse match the vision of the metaverse. And I think that's maybe valuable to people who are starting to think about their metaverse strategy, and not us, a bunch of cynical journalists But that's my take. My one little notch for bank reports, since I'm always so mean to the banks and get in trouble on Twitter.
That's so nice. So nice. Yeah, I was looking up just quick stats on retail e-commerce total addressable market, and currently it's like 8 trillion. So this would be a bigger number than the current total addressable market of traditional e-commerce.
Did they just take
Which I
the
think
world
supports
and
George's
multiply it
point.
by 2?
They may
Yeah.
have done that.
Yeah.
They may have done that. They're like, okay, all commerce is going to be metaverse commerce. Ship it.